Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight on our news.
The Prime Minister weighs in on his party's first year in office.
A 65-year-old educator was charged before the magistrate's court today.
Our news is brought to you by Alive.
Welcome to Our News and thanks for joining us. I'm Kyle Joaquin. Topping news tonight, exactly 1 year after the Free National Movement swept into office, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis is defending his administration's performance during its first year of governance. Minnis says the fact that he did not pander to and please everyone speaks to his strong leadership. His comments come as the party prepares to list its accomplishments in year one and map out its plan for the next 4 years during an event tonight. Jasmine Brown reports.
Minnis says despite what critics may think, he believes his administration has seen its fair share of success, and it doesn't mean that everyone has to agree.
Is any individual, be they government or any leader, manager, or whatever, if they have 100% with them, then they are weak. They are bending to please everyone.
The Minnis administration has come under heavy criticism from the opposition and even members of their own party, from the controversial O-Band deal to heavy borrowing and the loss of more than 2,000 jobs in the public sector. During a rally at the PLP's headquarters on Farrington Road on Wednesday night, Progressive Liberal Party Deputy Leader Chester Cooper said the F&M administration has nothing to show but words and wasted time that the Bahamian people can never get back. Outside the House of Assembly on Wednesday, F&M MP for Pine Ridge Frederick McAlpine described his party's first year in office as disappointing and insisted the perception is the party is for the white, light, rich and famous. Minnis says you can't please everyone.
We are working towards a nation, and what we do for one makes another unhappy. Those are the realities.
As for his government's performance, the PM says while some may have expected more from the government, he used the first year to get a solid foundation for the next 4 years.
I think we have done very, very well. You would know that even we were putting down the foundation in the first year. If you are even building a home or hotel, the first thing you do is foundation. Crime has been a big issue. As you know, that was on the front page continuously. Even when I visited the meeting in the Summit of Americas in Peru, the Jamaican Prime Minister was asking me, what did we do? What did we do to bring murder down by 50% and crime down? But I'm especially elated to establish the delivery unit where we can actually trace and keep an eye on everything that we promised to ensure that they are delivered.
Minnis says Bahamians should stay tuned for the upcoming budget debate that is slated to begin in the next few weeks. Minnis says that's when his administration will set out its substantive agenda. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Well, despite the Prime Minister's defense of his administration's performance over the past year, Progressive Liberal Party Deputy Leader Chester Cooper dismissed the F&M as a government of nothing that has borrowed through the roof, fired thousands of public servants, and bungled the O-Band deal. During a special meeting held under the theme, No Lie Lasts Forever, Cooper told PLP supporters that no administration lasts forever either.
Are you better off now than you were a year before? They promised you bright and shiny things, and they gave you nothing. They promised you things you could touch, see and feel, and they gave you. They promised you good governance, and they gave you. They promised you jobs, and they gave you. They promised you investments, and they gave you. So this is a government of nothing.
Ahead of the May 10th general election, Cooper says the Free National Movement promised a lot, but has delivered very little.
They promised free education at UB, and they gave us. They promised us bread and breakfast, and they gave us. They promised us a tax-free zone. They just launched something that looks like. So it goes on and on and on. But like I told the people in Grand Bahama the other night, nothing plus nothing plus nothing equals.
Meanwhile, Angleton MP Gladys Hannah Martin hit out at the recently tabled Over the Hill White Paper, which she says is based largely on the Christie administration's National Development Plan, is dependent on the investigative work conducted under former National Security Minister, the late Dr. Berta Nottage, and is clearly inspired by previous urban renewal initiatives.
At first, the claim was that the project would roll out in Centerville, Bain and Grantstown, and St. Barnabas. But after objection was taken by the people of Angleton as to this clear and blatant and cruel discrimination in the use of public resources, and when the trick was exposed, Minnis, in another tricky move, because he's very tricky, dropped St. Barnabas from the program and mysteriously found his way into Angleton, telling the residents at that E.P. Roberts Primary School meeting that he is coming for Angleton. But I come tonight to tell Minnis, Angleton coming for him. And for all of our seats over the hill.
Cooper urged Bahamians not to be fooled by the lofty promises members of the Minnis cabinet will make tonight as the FNM celebrates its first year in office.
They're going to lay out all of the things that they've talked about throughout the campaign, and they're going to tell you again that they're going to give you all these wonderful, magnificent, shiny things that you can touch, you can see, and you can feel. And they don't want us to talk. And he don't even want his own fellas to talk. He threatened them in church the other day. He told them, don't criticize the FNM, don't criticize me as Prime Minister, because what I do is well done.
In other news, a 65-year-old educator was brought before the magistrate's court today to be charged with indecent assault. Jillian Gray has that.
A 65-year-old homeroom teacher at T.G. Glover Primary School has been granted bail after being arraigned in the magistrate's court on indecent assault charges. Garfield Hepburn, a resident of Golden Gates, appeared before Magistrate Cara Turnquest DeVoe on Thursday afternoon to be charged with 3 counts of indecent assault. It is alleged that the crime was perpetrated against 3 9-year-old girls. According to court dockets, the indecent assault took place sometime between September 1, 2017 and March 5, 2018. Hepburn pleaded not guilty to the charges. He was granted bail in the amount of $7,500 with 2 sureties.
Gardner is set to return to court on July 2nd. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jillian Gray.
Well, 3 men appeared before Chief Magistrate Joyanne Ferguson Pratt to be arraigned on murder charges. 24-year-old Cleveland Musgrove in the navy blue shirt, 19-year-old Jonathan Brown in the black shirt, and 33-year-old Marco Neely in the black jacket were charged with the murder of Prince Johnson on Friday, May 4th. According to police reports, a man was stabbed to death on Pardusky Dock. Police said a group of men got into an altercation resulting in the stabbing. Paramedics attempted to revive the man but were unsuccessful. In court today, the trio was not required to enter a plea and was denied bail. The men were remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections and will return to court on July 19th for presentation of a voluntary bill of indictment. Well, as police investigations continue into a video of a woman beating a young girl, President of the Bahamas Christian Council, Bishop Delton Fernander, is speaking out on the viral video that has sparked national debate over corporal punishment. The controversial video shows a woman beating a girl with a belt and a stick before punching her in the head several times as someone yells, "Kill her." Fernander says the beating went beyond punishment.
I think it bordered on abuse.
Fernander says while he is a proponent of corporal punishment, he does not condone abuse.
I know there must be a deterrent, and it doesn't need to move into the area of abuse. And when it moves in the area of abuse, we need to stop that and nip that in the bud. But we must have a deterrent, and then we must have conversation that leads to change of behavior. Change of behavior doesn't happen because you beat somebody. Change of behavior happens when they realize that there's consequences for your action.
He says that also underscores the need for parenting classes.
And hence the need for parenting classes and the need to temper our anger sometimes. Before you deliver any corporate punishment, you should be in a place of peace. And you should talk to your child and help them get to a place that they understand why you're upset as a parent and why you want to move them from this behavior to another.
Still to come on Our News, a shooting victim dies in hospital and remembering 4 fallen Marines who died on HMBS Flamingo 38 years ago. Stay tuned.